Siyata Dishmaya, we're going to be continuing in the Torah Shlomo, in this ma'amar that he's writing, V'shachanti b'tocham, on the Tzurat Pnimiyut HaOtiyot, the form and the inner aspects of the Otiyot, the Hebrew building blocks of this world. Zat Hashem, we learned in the past 2 classes from the Yanuka about the importance of the letters Bet, Vav, and Shin, which I thought about afterwards. Why is that? Because it starts Bosh. You should be ashamed. You should have a little bit of humility, and that's the first step. And then Shuv as well, right? And then we learned about Lamed, of the word Bet, right? Lamed, the Lev, so to say, the heart, and how we need the heart. And now we're going to continue with Zat Hashem talking about this idea of the heart. We said last time that the Vav is the Beit HaMikdash, which is the heart. The Vav makes up the Lamed. The Lamed has a Vav on top, a Vav in the middle, and a Vav at the bottom. That's the first temple, the second temple, the third temple. That's the Itorut of the Mashpia, to want to give. That's the balance of deciding how much is Mishpat and Tzedek, to balance how much I'm going to give. And then it's the side of actually giving into fruition. That's the third temple. And the main thing is about the third temple. That's the Ikar, what we're trying to get to, is the third temple. And that is also the heart and Pnimiyut, that we want to have a Vav, we want to have a Amshacha, we want to bring down light, and we want to have a Chibur, a connection, and we want to have a place, a heart that can serve Hashem. How do we now attach our heart to the Torah? We said last time also that once a person has that, then they'll find light in Torah, they'll find light in prayer, which will make it easier for them to make their money and their Parnasa in life. What's the connection with that? So the Yanuka continues, Rav Shlomo Yehuda, Tzat Hashem, Shlita. אופן התקשרות לב האדם באותיות התורה והתפילה הוא על ידי שמכוון האדם ליבו לעשות לשמו ולכבודו של השם יתברך, של הקדוש ברוך הוא. How do you connect yourself to the Torah? When you approach the Torah, have in mind and in your heart that you're coming now to learn and to do for the sake and for the honor of Hashem יתברך. שבזה מביא בקרבו מיד המשכה וגילוי. By way of doing that, having the intention that you're coming to do this for the sake of Hashem, immediately you will feel in your midst, meaning inside of your heart, a draw and a pull towards and a revelation of the honor of Hashem in this world. Meaning the Shekhinah will be present. Here, you asked how to get Shekhinah? This is it. This is how you get Shekhinah. When you do this, you approach anything you're doing for the sake of Hashem, immediately you'll feel in your midst a drawing down and a revelation of the honor of Hashem in the world. But when a person doesn't do things for the sake of heaven, then you're, so to say, you detach yourselves, you're separate, you're detached from the revelation of the letters in Torah and Tefillah. Again, the letters are always coming to reveal godliness. And if you can't see that revelation, it's because your heart is in another place. Shem Tzinorot Ashefa. These are Tzinorot, these are the pipelines of Shefa, of abundance, that Hashem revealed to us in the world. These are the Otiyot. What are Otiyot? What are letters? Pipelines of Shefa, of abundance, of revelation of Hashem. Be'emet, and the truth is, in these generations that were very, very, very far from doing things mamash for the sake of heaven, L'Shem Shamayim, the average person struggles to do things completely, purely, without ulterior motives. And even if you do for the L'Shem Shamayim, you're doing a mitzvah because it's purely a mitzvah. So say your heart is still filled with other things. And even if you do have the intention of your heart, then it only happens here and there. It's for a little bit of a moment. You have flashes where your heart is pure. It's hard to keep your heart pure the whole entire time you're learning, the whole entire time you're praying. It's when the mercy of Hashem arouses and He gives you a feeling inside your heart. It's not really like you're holding on to it, you're a master of it. It was a gift from up above. Why is this happening? Why don't we feel? Why don't we have these revelations? Because we lost the mercy and the feelings of the heart. Because the holiness and the sanctity and the light that's coming from the holy letters, and all of the life and the abundance and the sustenance that are pulled from the letters of our prayer, that are pulled from the letters of our Torah learning. Right? How could it be that we're meant to sit here and learn Torah for a few hours a day, Why not work? Why not go provide this? Because we believe also that this is the main way we bring down our shefa. The work part, that's just me playing the puppet, playing the role in the movie that I have to show up, and Hashem wants me to reveal that I actually was something part of the process of bringing down the money here. The main way I actually do that is by my Torah and my tefillah. So why is that not happening? I lost the feeling of my heart. And the whole entire light of the Torahs and the Shef and the Parnasa and the life that's meant to come out of these letters inside Torah and tefillah, it all depends on the heart. And that's the secret of the Vav, of the letter Vav, which is the drawing down from up above down below. And when I lose that feeling of the heart, so then I also lose that mercy, that mercy, and I'm not able to have mercy and to do things for the sake of Hashem, and to acquire and to reach the sanctity that's inside the letters of the Torah. And I have to know what ruined the heart, what destroyed the heart, why don't I have a connection to Torah and Tefillah, what ruins the Jew's heart? Niyuf. Sexual immorality, desiring things that are not pure. And I'll tell you out right now, Niyuf, the Kabbalists teach us this, Niyuf is Gematria Kabbalah. When a person learns in the wrong time and without the right vessels and not from a place of purity and for the sake of themselves and not from a place of mercy or the light of Hashem and the Shekhinah, it's so to say that they're acting with immorality, sexual immorality. Like it says in Mishlei, Noef Isha Chaser Lev. What's Noef? What's a person who's promiscuous? Isha Chaser Lev, a woman without a heart. Al Yedei Niuf Me'abed Adam et Argeshat Halev. By way of Niuf, by way of immorality, the person loses the feeling of the heart. And again, if you misunderstood me to think that you're actually just making the acts, that's not my intention. Thinking on it, looking at it, desiring it. There's many things that are involved in sexual immorality that don't just include the physical act itself. Doing it by yourself, doing it with others, all these things obviously. If you're married, there's times also where it's permitted and there's times where it's also forbidden. This is irrelevant for every single human being in the world. But we're now focusing on Jews and why Jews don't feel emotions when they open Torah and Tefillah. Why don't you see the life? Why don't you read Tehillim and get money for reading Tehillim? Why doesn't it bring down bracha into your life? Because your heart is out of alignment. And why is the heart out of alignment? Most likely because of what's called ni'uf. And when we don't have mercy in the heart because of our ni'uf, then what gives birth? What's brought into the heart? Achzariyut. Cruelty. Lack of mercy. Cruelty. You don't understand where you are. You don't understand how much you're lacking. And even more so that your heart is not able to understand and to think and to contemplate what is the true lack in the world. What's the true lack in the world? How to arouse the heart filled with rachamim on the Shekhinah, on Knesset Israel, like we were just talking about. Why is it that people look at books, that people look at tables, that people look at other people and do not see God? That's the biggest problem in the world, that there's not Shekhinah in the world. That is the biggest problem in Hashem's eyes and in our eyes. At least that's how it should be. Hashem is not visible in the world. And we're never talking about Hashem himself because there is no image, there's nothing to see there. It's only experiences. The experience is what we call Shekhinah down here. Why don't people have that? Why don't they have it in their Torah and Tefillah? And even if they don't have it there, even more so, they're not going to have it in their eating, in their sleeping, in their conversations with friends. If you can't get it in the most pure place, how are you going to get it down there? All of this is because the heart is lacking. And when the heart is lacking mercy, instead of mercy comes in cruelty. Achzariyut. Brazenness, harshness. כי בעוון זה גורם האדם להחסיר את החיים מעצמו ומכלל הבריאה. Because of this sin of sexual immorality, it causes a person to remove from himself and from the whole entire creation life. Benirmaz betevat lev. It's hinted to in the word lev, heart, lamed bet, and that starts with the letter lamed. Lev is only two letters. The word lev is only two letters, lamed and bet. The lamed is, like we said, tlat vavin, 3 vavs, which is 6, 6, 6. Gematria. Chai. Don't go off the goyim what they say 666 is not good. 666 here, one pirush. First of all, it's the Amid, which is the 3 Beit Mikdash. Here's another thing of what 666 is. It is Chai, Gematria Chai. Right? It's the first letter of Lev. And I'll give you another one that's not written here. It's the Vav, the Samech, and the Mem Sofit. The Kav, the Igul, and the Rubuah. Right? All the hope that comes down and light that comes down into the world as a whole, and the completion of living a world that is all Hashem and the lack of Hashem all at once. It's also the secret of 666. Don't get twisted into what the non-Jews say, right?
Mad.
Chavot, but short.
It really is life. Because all life that we know is carbon-based life forms. And carbon 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons.
There you go. And life, everything physical has 6 faces to it, right? Also.
So the klipa only can suckle from kedusha, from truth. So that's why they try to take this number, but it's actually a very good number.
Chazaki. Osafta be'emet. Hashem. So what is this lev? What is this lamed of the word heart that can teach us of what happens when we don't have mercy in the heart and instead we have cruelty in the heart? This lamed is these 3 vavs, which is chai. And it says that, where is that hint from? The Yanuka is pulling it from Tikkunei Azor. And it also says in Zot Zikaron, V'romezet hi legimel batei hamikdash. This is a hint to the 3 temples, which are the 3 different levels of shefa, of ashpa'ah, right? The arousal of wanting to give, the balance of how much to give, and the receiving of the shefa. V'kasher morid ba'avon zeh et ha'ot vav harishona. When in this moment you take down the first vav, which again, vav is also connected to what we're talking about here, that we don't need to go into, right? When you pull down this first vav, machriv hu lemadrigat bait rishon. So to say, you're destroying the first temple. What was the first temple? Hashem's desire to want to have a place to dwell down here. The first arousal of wanting to give tzedakah, wanting to be mashpia. Hashem, the first temple was nisei nisim, ribui shchina, too much shchina. People couldn't handle the level of miracles that were at the first temple. It was above and beyond, right? That was why, because Hashem had an arousal to give. It was all from up above. When we destroy that first level, so to say, we destroy the first temple. So too in the idea of the second temple. Veshuv binyan bait shlishi. So too in the idea of the third temple. And there is included all of the good that a person needs in this world. And the whole entire purpose, the whole purpose of Hashem's desire to do good to His nation, and the whole entire idea that is the creation of the world and having a dwelling place down here in a balanced level where there's a lot of light, but you're able to make something out of that light and to receive it and to live with it, all of that gets destroyed when a person destroys the first level. It's a domino effect. Hashem wanted to do good for us. So if a person now goes and destroys, and he blemishes his eyes, so then, so to say, he removes all of the mercy and all of the life and all of the Parnasa from himself and from the whole entire creation as a whole. And because of the Reshaim, because of the people that are doing against the Torah, against Hashem, that they do sins, they do mistakes, Hashem doesn't have the ability to fully be revealed in this world, as long as there's people trying all day long to cover up Hashem in the world. As long as the Beit HaMikdash existed, there was a drawing down of shefa, of life, of satiation, of good, of mercy into the world. But when this Beit HaMikdash doesn't exist, then all of those are lost from the world. All of those are lacking in the world. And we're far away from our purpose. Then there's death, and there's bad things in this world. And there's pain, and there's hard decrees in this world. Like the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, talked about it before, as long as we're in Galut, we can't be okay with the situation. We cannot accept Galut. We should be screaming out at Hashem that we want Hashem to be revealed in this world. We cannot accept the situation. It can't be good. It can't be fully good as long as we don't have a temple. Since the whole entire creation and the completion of man, you getting to your highest form, depends on your heart, but we see that it's not so important for people. The heart. We see that people would much be developing their mind and learning Torah and all these different things and doing actions, but what about the heart? Because we're all so far distant from the feeling of the heart. We lost our touch with our emotion. We lost our ability to feel so much. The first time a person does a sin, his heart has already, so to say, been stolen, been held in captivity. And now it doesn't matter, even though he's continuously trying to come back to Torah and Tefillah, he doesn't feel the taste there. He's not getting the feeling that he should when he wants to come back. Right? He had it. He went and did sin, so now he stepped away. He closed off his heart. Now when he comes back into the Torah and Tefillah, it's dry. It's not giving him what he wants. He doesn't understand, why am I not being attracted to Hashem? Why is there not a pull from the Torah and the Tefillah pulling me in? Why is it not doing it for me? What's going on? Why do I have such hardship in my Parnasa? Why do I have such hard time in this world in this world things? So that we would have a little bit of understanding of where we are and how far we are. Hashem had mercy on whoever wants to come close. Therefore Hashem created a system. And what is that? All of your Parnasa, all of your needs of this world, and all of your emotions, all of your connections to higher things, to more emotional things, all of that depends, all of your shefa depends on your heart. It all comes down to your heart. From you feeling a lack in money and not having money to pay bills and not having what you need physically in this world, you feel that lack. Now you go deeper. If that's just in this world, then it's a message for me to feel more, and to understand more. It's a mashal, it's a parable. What is being sent to me? What is being told to me? Why does Hashem take my money away? If you don't arouse your heart to feel your own lacks, to arouse the emotions inside of you to want to connect to Hashem, you'll never be able to understand why you really lack and why the world is lacking right now. And why is there a lack in the world? Why people don't feel in the world? This is your whole entire purpose. The whole entire avoda that you came to this world is to make a lev, to make a dwelling place for Hashem, to make a dira betachtonim, to make a beit hamikdash. And that means to feel and to have emotions and to have a connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that Hashem is living in your heart. As long as you don't feel that, you'll never understand the lacks of the world. And the lack of the world is that people don't feel that. So if you really want to be close to Hashem, what did Hashem do? He created a system that you would be lacking in Parnasa and you would be lacking in Gashmiut, so that on that you would contemplate, why am I lacking on Gashmiut? Why do I lack physically? Why do I have physical limitations and lacks? It must be a spiritual thing. What is it coming to teach? That the world as a whole is lacking something. And what's it lacking? Gilui Kvod Shamayim. The honor of Hashem is not being revealed in the world. People come to eat a fruit. Not only does it not have physical taste, it's not doing physically what it needs to do, and it's not making the person feel better either. It's not revealing the fruit. It's not revealing Hashem. You don't have Shekhinah when you bite into an apple. Why? It should be that way. Hashem created a world where you need to eat. What does that mean? That eating is holy. He wants you to come eat with Him many times out the day to reconnect. Why don't you feel Hashem when you come to eat? Why do you feel more the Snickers bar and not Hashem? Why is that the reality? Because the heart is messed up. Why is the heart messed up? Niyuf. We looked at the wrong things. We desired the wrong things, specifically sexual immorality. We look at things, we think about things, and it's wrong. It's not okay, and that messes up our heart. From the first time you did the sin, your heart already gets held captive. Now you want to do tshuva, you want to come back, and you come and you start to learn Torah because you know it's the right thing to do, and it's the highest way to connect to Hashem, and you want to pray because it's the right thing to do, but it's dry, and it's not doing it for you, and it doesn't feel good. Why? Their whole job is only to contemplate on that, and to do tshuva, and to bring down more Shekhinah, to connect to Hashem more. Ki im nitan haya adam if you would receive Parnasa without it being dependent on your heart, וכאשר בעלי החיים, like animals, right? Animals get fed every day whether they feel good or not, whether they're liking people or not, whether they want to do good or not, whether they're immoral or not. Every day the animal's going to eat. If you wanted to be sustained like that, like an animal, היה פוסק לגמרי מאיזה רצון ופעולה להשלים כל עניין של חסרון. היה פוסק לגמרי מאיזה רצון. You would be completely cut off from any wills or any desires, להשלים כל עניין של חסרון, to fill up any lack. שהרי אינו מכיר בכלל בעבודתו וחסרונו כאמור. You don't even know of the lack. If you don't have a heart and you don't know you're lacking, you don't know that there's a problem. Like Rav Nachman says, astara shebetoch astara. A concealment means you know it should be good to learn Torah and it's not. Things should be going well, but they're not. Astara shebetoch astara is you don't even know that there's a problem. You think everything's okay. Everything's fine. Aval mitoch shenechsar lo parnasato. But now that Hashem takes away your money, you have a lack spiritually, physically, sorry. Yavo mitoch koch leitbonen b'chesono amiti. From that you'll come to contemplate, what is my true lack? It's not that I can't pay bills. Who cares? That can't be, that's what I'm really lacking in life. Because I'm still eating, I still have money, I still have everything I need, I still have a house over my head, I still can take a shower. My kids have clothing. So not being able to pay the bill can't be my biggest problem in life. It's only there to teach you about a much deeper problem. Shu chasron argashat libo, that you don't have a heart to feel with. You don't have a lev basar, you have a lev even. You don't have a heart of flesh, you have a heart of a stone. V'itametz liot sur mirav v'liten laHashem et libo ve'enav. What you should do now, once you realize that you don't have money to pay for a bill, realize that you don't have enough emotions in your heart. Meaning your heart is not really with Hashem, it's with other things. First thing you should do is separate yourself from negativity. Stop indulging in the negative thing, and give your heart and your eyes to Hashem. Until you give birth in your heart to the mercy of Hashem, and you'll come by way of that to rectifying, to making a tikkun. Dafka, specifically from not having the money you need to get by the month, or what you think you need to get by having physical lacks in this world, from not having enough money like you should have, a lack in Parnasa, you'll come to contemplate, what am I truly lacking? Then you'll understand that you need Hashem in your life, and you need to reveal Hashem, you don't have enough emotions. That will give a birth to mercy in your heart, which will lead to mercy on everybody else in the world, which will give you more connection of dveikut, all of mercy, dveikut, it's all rooted in tiferet, it's all connected. And you can complete your heart, which is also the body, the heart is also dveikut. Therefore Hashem left the key of Parnasa, of sustenance of man, in his hands. It's not put into the hands of a messenger, meaning into the angels or anything else you could do. Parnasa depends only on Hashem and your heart. כמובא במסכת תענית, בשם רבי יוחנן, ששלוש מפתחות הם ברשות הקדוש ברוך הוא. Rabbi Yochanan teaches us there's three keys, meaning three things that are completely dependent on Hashem. מפתח של גשמים, rain, מפתח של חיה, life, מפתח של תחיית המתים, and the key of resurrection of the dead. ואמרי במערבה אף במפתח של פרנסה. And they add another one, they would say in the West, even the key of Parnasa, even sustenance, right? Gshamim. But in Eretz Yisrael, Geshem is mamash Geshem, right? So there's 3, 4 things, however you want to look at it, that Hashem rules completely. You're not going to open up the gates without talking to Hashem, without connecting to Hashem. Sustenance, rain, life, and resurrection of the dead. Those things, it's when Hashem decides to use the key that He has in His hand to open up the gate, that's when it's going to happen. Question.
Generally, this is how I feel. When I don't have money, it's very hard for me to distract my thoughts from this world and think about Hashem. It's very sucked into this world and not thinking about Hashem.
That's what you said here. Why does that happen to you, to all of us? When we get that problem, why don't we go straight to Torah and Tefillah? And if we do go to Torah and Tefillah, why doesn't it feel good? Why doesn't it answer? Because of niyuf. That's what.
We're all stuck in niyuf. Like,
So let's continue to learn. We're learning Torah. Again, we're not finished with the idea yet, so I don't know to answer the question, right? But essentially, that is why it's happening. Ni'uf is the reason that we don't have feelings in our heart. Meaning, when we come to daven to Hashem, help me with His money, I understood. Tov, I lack my bills to pay because you want me to think about the Shekhinah and the fact that there's no mercy in the world. You can't be revealed in the world. I get that. Okay, now I'm going to come daven to you. Why doesn't that feel good? And malasot, we're still trying to learn that out, but it's all because of niuf.
Even that first step of remembering what Hashem, we don't have money. Most people
Don't even have that.
start out with like, oh, I don't have money, I gotta work harder.
Correct. All of that, again,
Maybe, like once in a while you have thought, wow, I should maybe talk to Hashem.
all of this is because niuf. What's essentially niuf? That your eyes and your heart were given to something else besides Hashem. So now don't be shocked when you come back to Hashem that your heart's not there. You lost your feeling. Your heart is held captive right now by other things. That's what we said so far. I can't answer the question. I'm just giving you a sikun because you stepped out for the part of ni'uf is the reason that we have choser in our heart, that we have a lack in our heart. And it's essentially the tikkun is bringing back our eyes and our heart back to Hashem. We haven't gotten to the full thing yet. וזה שאמר רבי יאיבי מאוסטרה, רב אייבי מיוסטרה, בפרק י"ג בתהילים, שיש נחת רוח גדול לקדוש ברוך הוא מתפילת העני, וחפץ הוא לשמוע תפילתו בכל יום. Hashem has a certain level of pleasure and whatever that means, happiness, joy, connection, good feeling when a poor person really pours out his heart to Him. And Hashem, so to say, every day wants to hear the prayer of the people that are lacking in this world. מה שאין כן העשיר שנותן לו הקדוש ברוך הוא שפע באופן שאינו מוכרח לפנות אל השם יתברך בכל עת. What's not the case, the rich person that doesn't need to turn to Hashem about everything. Hashem doesn't expect the rich person to pray for him all day long because He gave him all the money he needs, so to say. He's not expecting them. He's not waiting for that tefillah. והיינו שאין תולה הקדוש ברוך הוא פרנסת האדם בשלמות ליבו אלא אם כן חפץ הוא לקרבו. Hashem will only make you need to pray for every single thing you eat if He wants you to be close to Him. There's certain people, Hashem says, I want you to be in my camp. We all know this in ourselves. There's certain people you want around you more than you want others around you. You could have the people in your minyan. And then there's the people within the minyan that you actually like to hang out with. Right? Is it wrong? No. Here we see Hashem is doing the same thing. Hashem has a certain desire to have people around Him.
That's why He took us out of dependency upon the Nile River, which we don't have to ever bread.
Exactly. And this is why He cursed the snake, right? And said, you can eat dust. You can eat whatever you want. Why? I don't desire to have a relationship with you. I created you. I'm going to provide for you. Everything you do eat, I created as well. It's all Ashkecha Batit as well. But don't ask me for anything. I don't want a relationship with you. So who does need to ask for everything? Whoever Hashem really wants a deep relationship with. Or שזה האדם חפץ בפנימיות ליבו להתקרב אל התכלית. Or you yourself are trying to come closer. You started to figure out deeper Torahs. You started to figure out deeper avodas. So Hashem says, you want help going deeper in your Torah learning, in your meditation? Shoo! Here's a lack. Now daven. You want a relationship with me? So you have to pray now for everything. You had money. You see this. A lot of Balei Tshuva. After a while, they start to lose the money that they had. Their life becomes much harder, especially if you go on the Breslov path. Why? Hello? You're trying to develop the heart? So then let's help you pray. Let's help you pray more. Pray more. It's not a klala, like we see here. וכך מתוך חסרונו בגשמיות יתאמץ ויבוא לפני השם ברוך הוא בכל יום להשלים תיקונו וחסרונו. Because you lack physicality, now you'll stand in front of Hashem more and more throughout your day to fill up your lacks. עד שיבוא לשלמות הלב, until you come to a whole heart, שהוא תיקון חטא אדם ראשון, which is fixing the first primordial sin of Adam הראשון, the first man to live. וממילא שר מעליו כלת בזיעת אפיך. And then automatically, from that, an outcome of that, of fixing Adam's sin in yourself will be, which we talked about in the first thing, how is it that all of these letters should make me have more, no worries in Parnasa? The letters of the Torah should remove the worry of Parnasa and the hardship in Parnasa that I have. How could Torah and Tefillah? We see that. No, people that sit and learning Torah and Tefillah, like we just said, have a harder time. When you get to the level where you can complete your heart and fix the sin of Adam HaRishon for yourself, then you remove the sin of, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat your bread. Meaning only by hard work and only with toil are you going to ever get anything in this life. That was a curse. It's not meant to be that way. We should all be sitting here as Am Yisrael in dveikut, in Torah, and tefillah all day long and having all of our needs provided for us. The fact that we have to work in order to get any money is a sin, is a curse, sorry. When you rectify that inside of yourself and your heart becomes complete, so then you remove that curse of, by the sweat of your brow, you shall eat your bread. In the end, you fix the sin of Adam in any way that's possible. If it comes from a lack of the heart and working hard for Parnasa, God forbid, or if it comes from a completion of the heart and finding dveikut, meaning attaching yourself to Hashem by way of the letters of Torah and tefillah. If you're devuk to Hashem in Torah and tefillah, if you can open a book and find Hashem there, so then what physical acts do you have? Hashem commanded you, choose life. What does it mean, choose life? Hashem wants you to complete your heart and to be saved from the curse of hard work, of sweating in order to just put food on your table at home. That was a curse again. Hashem doesn't want you to do that. He says, pick life. What is life? A whole heart, a healthy heart, a complete heart that you don't have to work so hard to make money. How do you do that? From a place of dveikut and the letter lamed, which is 3 vavs, which is gematria chai, which is bacharta b'chaim. Choose life, which is an arousal of, I want to give. I want to balance how much that giving is so I don't burn out and I don't break the kli. And I want to make sure that the poor person, that it actually comes down. I want an arousal from Hashem that wants to dwell in my heart. I need to learn to measure how much am I bringing it down, how much am I learning, how much am I davening, in order so that I should feel it in my heart, that when I open the books and when I eat food, I feel Hashem. It's there. We learn from this, every person's prayer should always be, and so to say, is always in the state of a poor person's prayer. It's either you're lacking money physically in this world, so you're actually physically poor, and a rich person could also be poor, right? Because a person who has 100 wants 200, a person who has 200 wants 400, right? We don't know. We think that we might be the richest people in the world.
Billionaires are so poor. They need $1 billion for them to be happy.
Exactly.
Every single $1 billion.
We're just lacking a meal. 50 shekel. 50 shekel, you can put a smile on my face. A little schnitzel here down the street. They have to fly to Paris to get a burger from a guy that chewed the frog before he spat it out. You know, all this. There's so much levels of what they need to be happy, right? We're rich. And we know the cloud, the famous cloud, most of Am Yisrael knows, Ashir, who is the rich person. Not only he who is happy with his portion, what's your most basic portion? Einaim, Shinaim, Yadayim, Raglayim. Eyes, teeth, hands, and feet. That's the letters Ashir. If you have that in your life, already you're rich. There's some people that don't have eyes. There's some people that don't have teeth. There's some people that don't have hands. There's some people that don't have legs. If you have those 4 things, you're already Ashir. So now what do we see? Everybody's prayer is in this aspect of ani. Why? Why are you poor, everybody? Why is every Jew poor, so to say? Either we're lacking physical money and we're actually really poor, or you gave birth to mercy in your heart, meaning you developed your heart to feel Hashem's mercy, to feel Hashem's lack, to have mercy on Hashem. What's lacking in this world? What are people lacking most? What is the true lack? Which is infinitely incomparable in measure to not having enough money to pay your bills. The fact that people go through this life not knowing of Hashem is infinitely more problematic than the fact that you can't pay your bill. There's no comparison, the fact that Hashem is not recognizable in His world to the fact that you cannot have enough money to pay your bills. Aval, but מי שאינו חפץ בקרבת השם ואין הקדוש ברוך הוא חפץ לקרבו, whoever doesn't want Hashem and then Hashem doesn't want them, נותן לו הקדוש ברוך הוא שפע פרנסתו כפרנסת הבהמות. Hashem gives you all the money you need, like He gives to the animals all that they need. You don't have a desire to help Hashem get recognized in the world. Like an animal doesn't have thoughts of, I want people to know of Hashem. Only humans are meant to have that. Specifically Jews, that's your job. That's why you were born a Jew. If you're not trying to help Hashem be revealed in this world, so then here's all the money you need, bro. I don't need you to pray. I don't need you to... Here's the Amex Unlimited, do what you need. Don't ever daven to me for prayer, because either way, your tefillah is not from a place of fixing the Shekhinah, really realizing what's lacking in the heart. You're just praying for your own money. You're not thinking about the world. That person, he's not exempt from hard work. Right? Even though Hashem gives him everything, he still has to sweat. He still has to work for it. He also still has to, he has money, but he still has to work. How am I going to get money? How am I going to keep my sustenance? How am I going to keep this money? Like we see physically. כאשר אין דבוק האדם בקדוש ברוך הוא, גם אם מתפרנס הוא ברווח, בכל זאת אינו מתנתק מהכללה, אלא הוא דואג ויגיע כל חייו. We see it in our world, right? It's not that snakes don't hunt. It's not that rich people don't show up for work. They have all their money, so that's it. They chill, they're relaxed. No. Rich people work way harder than people that are simple, that have lacks even in life. The rich person has this in this company. He has all these people that he employs. He has to deal with their social status, their emotional status, their family status, their work status. He has managers, he has simple workers, he has other companies he's competing against. He has to make up new ideas. He has to create different strategies. He's non-stop sweating by his brow just to put food on the table. And he has all the money to put the food on the table. So he's included inside the curse. The fact that the snake got all the, you can eat whatever you want, doesn't mean he doesn't have to hunt. He still has to crawl around and find food. He could, if he was a human, just sit in his place and say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please provide for me. And do a simple action to show up to a 9 to 5 and have everything he needs. And not be included in the sweat of the brow. Because what does he do? He pushes a few buttons every day and he's not really breaking himself. Like the Chovot HaLevavot says, like the Baal Shem Tov says, your hands are busy and your mind is free in Elokut. So what that you showed up to work 9 to 5? That means that your hands are working, but your mind could still be in a Shiur Torah. You could have a headphone in listening to a class. You yourself could have a book on the side. You and your mind could be learning Torah without a book, like we did for thousands of years, like we should still be doing. The fact that you're working doesn't mean you have to be cursed with bizat apechatucha. Like by the sweat of your brow you have to eat. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be that you work your job and it doesn't drain you. And when you come to open up Torah and Tefillah, there's such light there that you start to sweat from the Shekhinah radiating on you, that you can't bear the heat of God coming off the page. That you feel such a connection, and you know your money's going to come down from that. Because when you get that and you have dveikut to Hashem, then you feel the mercy of Hashem. That is a lack of clarity of godliness in this world. That people come to Torah and Tefillah and they don't feel it. People come to eat and to work and to walk through the street and to see another Jew and they do not see Elokut. That is the biggest problem in the world. And the reason that you don't have money is because Hashem wants you to be close. He wants you to help Him, to reveal Him in the world. He needs you to daven throughout the day. He wants you to do this. So He took away 1 or 2 bills from you. He took away stability in money so that you will daven, that you will pray, that you will reveal Shekhinah in the world. Because He wants you close and you want to be close. Or, not because of that, because you are trying to grow in life and you're trying to come to the next level. So Hashem says, here's a challenge. Here's a lack of clarity. Daven to me, now you're starting to build a relationship. And we know, like Rav Itzhak told us, you want a chavruta in Gemara? No problem, you don't have to love the person. Because what's the point? In Gemara, either way, in Pshat, you're bumping heads, you're going at it. But when it comes to learning Sod, when it comes to learning Kabbalah and Pnimiyut and Chassidut, you have to be in love with each other. You have to love each other. Same thing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you want to do tikkunim in this world? Right? Nishikin, chibukin, right? Dveikut is the hug. You want to have that level of relationship with Hashem? You can't have this world going easily for you. You can't. It distracts. It takes your heart and puts it in a different place. Again, when we say ni'uf, like we talked about earlier, ni'uf is like, right, the Yanuka went, boom, let me hit you in the highest place. But Reb Nachman does this all the time. Tikkun habrit, tikkun habrit, tikkun habrit. But that doesn't just mean your breed. It's not only sexuality. It's just sexuality happens to be the most grave thing out of all physicality. So we talk from there. Cut off the head of the snake, as we say, right? But it goes too for your eating. Guarding your breed is also on your food. It's also on how you talk to other people. It's also how much tzedakah you give. It's also how much you sleep. All of that is included in tikkun habrit. Same thing here. All of that is included in iyuf. If your heart is held captive by drugs or by philosophies or by books or by other things that are not Hashem, so then your heart is captive. Don't be shocked when you come to learn and pray and it's dry. It's going to take a process. You left for 1 day, the Torah will leave you for 2. It's a statement in the Torah. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. There's spiritual realities in this world. When you feel that, contemplate what is the true lack in this world. What's really missing? God clarity. And if you want to help in that tikkun and bring that into the world, Hashem wants you in a relationship every few hours talking to Him. Zat Hashem Yitbarach. We're going to stop here for now.